Um, Also, while I was at staying at my friend's at 51st and Manor, Isaac's apartment, there was this one night where he left, and every time he left the apartment, shit would like escalate. Then I would see like these red lights or purple lights, or usually they're red. There can also be blue and green and other colors as well. But I was on the couch in he's a one bedroom apartment. I was on his couch in his living room, and he has some of my artwork. If you look at some of my pictures, you'll see the Marin Kina old liquor poster that has a green devil on it. He's holding a bottle. Um, that was hanging right, like I was lying on the couch like this long ways, and then up that way was a Marin Kina poster. And immediately when he left to go drive for Lyft, all this red light flooded the apartment, and a lot of these they weren't quite like laser beams, but like you can think of them as like laser beams. They weren't quite that strong, but they show up in the video, and it's important when you watch this video. I'll put a clip here in a minute. It's important that when you look at it, my eyes saw that unaided. It is not camera noise, Dad or Tim or anyone else. It is not camera noise. The red light flooded the room, especially over the poster, and this distortion happened right in front of the face. Now, I'm not saying that the print changed itself. I don't think there's a ghost or some supernatural thing happening. But there was a beam coming in, hitting the wall. I don't know which direction it was coming in, but it's hitting the poster right around the face. I mean, it was all over the place, but there was a strong concentration. A lot of times when you watch my videos, you'll see like these little swirly points, like vortexes. There's one right over his face. And I literally saw his face change or morph with a projection on top of it. I don't think it was just a distortion, but it changed. And this is evidence of projection mapping, because it recognized the face and it put other faces on top of it. It even removes the head entirely at some point, and it makes him look like he's decapitated. The video doesn't do it justice, but it's still a good video of evidence showing what my eyes saw. It actually was much more elaborate in person. It was much clearer in person with my eyes. But it wasn't just his face that changed. Everything else changed. He has slippers on in it. They added a heel in some points to his shoe. That's evident of projection mapping. So this does go beyond probably the police. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's a study, or it's a practice run, or it's beyond the practice run of of the capabilities of these devices, because they can literally put things on other things. And so I'll put evidence of that here in this video. But the other thing that shows evidence of projection mapping is where his tail is. They kept making it look like there were sparks traveling upon it. The video doesn't quite do it justice, but you'll see like little white blinks of light. And to my eyes, it looked like illustrations of sparks going up his tail, going whoosh, especially at the end of it. And it also shows evidence of projection mapping, because it showed it on the tail, and like below the tail, the curves like this, it used that curve to put another sort of humanoid face there. The video does show this. It doesn't show it as clearly as my eyes saw it, but you can make out where there's like an oval shaped thing that occurs below his tail at certain points. And that was extremely, I mean, I already seen the projections, but that was just like one of the big ones that I captured. I wish I'd kept it more still, but it still shows it. When I was at the Motel 6, also during that same time period, I was going back and forth a little bit. But in March and part of April, when I was at the Motel 6, the projections were happening there like a motherfucker. And one time when I was at the Motel 6, they were coding things almost to the point where they looked opaque. So like there was like a Windex bottle or something like that, and they literally like put like, it looked like they turned it into like a creature. It wasn't on anything. It wasn't on anything. And then sometimes when I walk in the room and it was dimly lit, they would make it look like there were people there, you know. And when I looked in the mirror, and I'd seen this at the Grove too, already the year prior, they would morph my face. And even recently in 2019, I've got video of my face morphing. That is not dimly lit camera noise. I literally saw that with my eyes. Like you can literally see in a lot of these videos, even when I was at the Manor house, where I take pictures of my face, and like when I move, you'll still see what look like eyes. That's not like latent. That's not like a latency thing. They literally project things onto my face or onto the reflection. I'm not sure, like, if it's on the reflection or if it's on my face. They can do both. And when I move, the projection stays there. So I assume that that's on the reflection when that happens. But they can also do projections in the air when these waves come down. They can project onto the distortions. They can project onto that. So they can literally put holograms like in the middle of the room. I've seen them lit up that look like a neon lights, and I wish I had gotten evidence of that. And they used to do this thing where like I would walk closer to it, like at the Motel 6. The holograms or whatever would like shrink, and like the closer I got to it, which is weird. But I saw it outside Isaac's apartment. I saw like these holograms. They look like 3D objects that were almost lit up, like almost neon, but not quite that bright. Almost like there were Christmas lights on them, but not really. And I could see like a 3D shape, but they only had part of it, like the opaque parts or the brightly, it looked like I could see the shape, like the outline of it, almost like Wonder Woman's invisible jet, but then only part of it would be lit up. It's insane. It's just like, oh my God. So it's like, this does go beyond like police. The police are the most simplest solution, but I know the police help them with this. But then like these capabilities point to like this some sort of government study. Like I don't want to be a paranoid person. It's like, it's not my job to find that out anyway. It doesn't matter who it is. They shouldn't be doing it. And it's easily you can easily investigate it. Go to the nurses or medical assistants at Red River. You can find Jason Barrientos. You can talk to these other sketchy people that did things, Gavin at the Grove and the maintenance man at the Grove. Like you're going to fucking regret what you did. Like these people try to make the victims come after you do that. But also, so I'll put imagery of that in this video, but they did it all the time. Like my face was morphed, like in the mirror reflection, all the time, and it was kind of neat at first, like they could put tattoos on you and stuff like that. But it's important to note, like that all that squiggling stuff, that's not camera noise. I had a Note 7 and then a Note S8, and now I have a Note 8 phone. Those are the best cameras that you can get on mobile phones, even in dimly lit conditions. Now, and I'm telling you, they do not produce camera noise that badly. So you need to stop saying it's camera noise, because I saw it with my eyes. And Tim, when you kept saying like, well, I don't see it. And I'm like, well, you see it right there in the video. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't see it on the wall. I'm like, I know you weren't there. They don't like, and you started to see it, Tim. You started to see things in the corner of your eyes, and it wasn't sleep deprivation. They started to fuck with you then. and I'll put videos of that. Also, when I was at the Manor house, they put projections on the wall, even in the middle of the day. Like even those still shots and the shots of it's a plain white wall. I mean, it's off-white or whatever. It's like got a bad paint job, but it doesn't have pink and blue and green colors all over it. Nor does the camera produce that when looking at a normal wall. Like, do you see that here on this wall? No, they're not doing it crazy. Do you see like super crazy colors? No. I mean, there's a little bit like up here, and that could be them. That could be camera noise. I'm not recording I'm recording this on a Chromebook. But it's not like the photo that I'll put right here. It's not like that. It's not crazy like that. And it would move all over the place. So, and it would look like illustrations. And the illustrations don't always come out. And again, sometimes when I record that, they're putting more projections on the screen or in my eyes while I'm doing that. So they enhance it sometimes, I assume. Sometimes I don't know. And that's why I started taking videos of videos so much. Because it's like... And Dad, when you look at that from the Austin Suites and Hotel, like there's blue lights all over the place. Even if you can't make out the animation, like zoom out, like I could make out animations in it. And again, they could be been projected onto the screen and not actually in the recorded video. Like there shouldn't be blue lights all over the walls or floors or walls. Like you're like, oh, just camera noise. And whatever that made up term is, and that whole voice of skull is not real thing. Yes, it is. Look in the link. It is a real thing. Magicians and mentalists have been using it for decades to pretend to pick numbers from people's brains or to use in a trick. It is a real thing. I don't know, whoever told you that lied, or maybe you lied to me and you're investigating this, but you're taking way too fucking long. It's like someone like could have hurt someone else or themselves by this. The fact that I refuse to do that and suffer and continue to suffer should not be taken advantage of. And like sometimes I want to think that because it's like they do things like with like Janet Roberts. You sent me that email. You said, hey, thanks, Steve, blah, 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 in response to my email from a Gmail that I don't even know if it was yours, but I don't want to be paranoid. They said, oh, we made that up. Because we were going to try to hack in and delete everything. We thought you would add Janet as an editor, so we would go in there and delete everything. And it's like, I just assumed it was another, I responded to the whole group, it wasn't a response to all. And right around that same time that you did that, where you put thanks, Steve, whatever, right around that same time, shortly after that, I got a letter from Social Security office where they put my name wrong on, like, dear so-and-so. That's a form letter. While they have the capability to go in there and type over it, obviously, they put Legrand, and that might have been a reference to Mike Legrand from Chicago or wherever he is now. And then they put Lacron instead of Lecron in another form letter. And I even verified that with Toby Tucker herself. No, she does not go in there and normally change, like she can add stuff in the body, but she does not go in there and change the name. But it happened twice, right on the same time that Janet did the thing with thanks, Steve. And so they're taking me through. They're trying to take me through this paranoid thing, both in a good way, but it's a really bad way. But it's like it's hopeful that like, oh, you guys know something's going on and you're looking into it. But what the fuck is taking so long? What would the harm be in you telling me we believe you? What would the harm be, Dad, and not treating me like a horrible person that's a deadbeat and like leeching off of you? Not that you're hurting for money. And I heard you when you were like on the food stamp thing saying that you do not spend $36,000 a year on me. And maybe you were projecting if I stayed in the hotel an entire year, but I wasn't. And even then, it still wouldn't total $36,000 or whatever the fuck the number is that you said. And food stamps run out, and they're not that much. And you're like, you don't even give me enough to buy like fruit or yogurt or like hardly any snacks. I buy granola bars, lunch meat, some bread, peanut butter jelly, pasta, macaroni and cheese, ramen. That's it. So I eat like the same thing all day long. And it's not even like good lunch meat. It's like the cheapest lunch meat possible. Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't you just tell me you believe me and like not be like Tom Denton and be like, I believe you, and then totally act like, if you believe me, you wouldn't just ignore it. Like, you guys sit there and like go through your lives normally. And I know that this is a stress in your life too, but you're like still going on with your lives. And I'm literally being assaulted every single day. And then you treat me like shit on top of it. Why can't you just send me more money? Why can't you like fly me somewhere? I guarantee you, if I get on a plane with Max, like I won't hear them anymore. I guarantee you like they won't be there, and they probably won't be where I land. They followed me on a bus for like a few hours. They followed me to Oklahoma City, but they didn't go all the way to Chicago. I don't know if they were planning on it, but they didn't, or they were recharging or quiet. But like, why can't you tell me you believe me and that you're looking into it? What harm would that cause? That wouldn't fuck up any sort of secret investigation that you guys are doing. That wouldn't. You don't have to tell me, like, why can't you send me more money? Why do I have to sit there and like penny pinch and then like this stuff is making me smoke more, so I have to do that. I know that, Dad, you don't want to support my smoking, but I'm going through the most stressful thing that will like no one will believe until they see it. They will be like, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Like I never will. This will be the biggest news story in the world, not the nation, the world. There's so many victims of this. This is such a scary set of technologies they're using in a way to manipulate people. It's the closest thing to mind and body control, and I've never been someone that was a conspiracy theorist. It's the closest thing to that I can't even believe we're that close to it. I did not know that we had these capabilities. I did not know that we can manipulate people's bodies to like do certain things. They can do it certain ways. Oh, they want you to do this. Oh, they just make you itch here. They want you to turn there. They can do that. They can make your eyes refocus in certain places with this thing. When you see the squiggly stuff and you see the camera sometimes like has problems focusing, my eyes do the same thing. That's not a normal thing. When you've seen the videos and like I'm trying to look up at like one of the distortions, especially like the vortexes, it'll go like woo, woo, woo. And then also it'll go dark, real dark. That happens to me too. That happens to my eyes. That's not a normal phenomenon that people encounter. That's like my camera's not and that's not something that's even schizophrenia. So my camera's not schizophrenic. My camera's not going through psychoses. I'm not either. Like, what the fuck? Why can't you treat me better? Why can't you say you believe me? Why can't you treat me like a decent person? Like, why can't you send me more money? Why can't you pay for me to go somewhere else and live? Like, I'm a fucking victim of terrorism, and you're sitting there like, oh, get a job. How can you fucking get a job like this? Even if I was just schizophrenic and hearing these voices all day long, how do you expect me to find an apartment, Dad, with a record and with a dog and with, and Buddy Allen or BJ Allen? Like, I've never heard anyone call you BJ, but maybe that's what you go by in your normal life. But like, I'm so disappointed in you too. What you said to me is not something you say. First of all, I wasn't on meth. Second of all, if I was, meth does not have a detox. It doesn't. Maybe you sleep a lot, like for like the next day. It has no detox whatsoever. Now, with mental addictions, which I don't have that, maybe there might be some irritability or some fiending or something like that, as would be with anything. But it's not like cigarettes. It's not like alcohol. It's not like heroin. It's not like Coke. There's no physical addiction to it. There's not much of a, I mean, aside from like leaning on it like a crutch, like some people do and need to. There's no, like, for you to say like you were gonna like put me like in a sleep sack or whatever about me and hook a catheter up to me, which is really weird because they kept trying to make me think, oh, Buddy knows and he's in on it and he's like trying to give you a secret message, because when you mentioned catheter, they threatened to put a catheter on me in the hospital like shortly, like just a couple weeks before that. It's like, ooh, catheter. They mentioned catheter before that. Like, ooh, Buddy's gonna put a catheter. That's a secret. He knows, but like we're still fucking with you because we know that they know, and blah blah blah. So when you do things like that, it's not appreciated, and it won't be appreciated even if you're doing something behind the scenes and doing this. It will still be a mistake. It will still be one of the biggest regrets, if not the biggest regret in your entire lives, because you do not treat people like that. Buddy, what you did, I was at a point where they're trying to push suicide. And again, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to kill myself. I never have. Do not take that as someone that's crying out for help or at risk for suicide. But this could drive people through suicide. I don't know like what would happen if this was going on a whole other year or 10 years. I don't know how, like, what I would do at that point. Hopefully it won't be, but like I've survived it now. I can't believe that they would stick on someone for that long. I can't believe they would stick on someone for as long as they did. I can't believe people would do this to another person. But to tell that and to shame, to say that you're ashamed of me, or that I should feel shame. I should feel shame about nothing. Y'all should be proud of me for fighting this and for trying to bring this to the attention. And you guys should be ashamed. Every single one of you should be ashamed. I'm ashamed of you. I will never talk to any of you ever again, even if you're doing something behind the scenes. I will not respect you ever again. I will not think anything of you other than how you treated me and how you didn't fix it. And there's nothing you can do to make up for what you did. And for you, Buddy, to like say what you said to me, I will never forgive you for that. I'm a wonderful, wonderful person. The nicest, kindest, most honest, decent, fair, ethical person you will ever meet. And for you to be such a hypocrite because you do meth and I wasn't doing meth. I know you do meth. I don't know when the last time you used is, but for you to sit there and to say that you're ashamed of me and that I should feel shamed, and for having a dog, that dog is, for one thing, it helps, keeps me alive. Like, he provides emotional support to me. He's my dog. I've had him for 6 years. You think I'm just going to give him away to someone? What is wrong with you? You had dogs. You just want to give them away? And like, just because I'm going through a hard time, I should give my dog away? Like, he's helping me. And unfortunately, he's suffering for it because they torture Max too. They zap him all the time. And they hurt him all the time. Just like they do with me. They make his ears itch all the time. They do the same thing to me. When he's itching his ears, they do the same thing to me. And then I'm scratching my ears like him. And when I put my hand over his body, I can feel those things making him itch or giving him heat or making him hurt. So for you, Buddy, to say what you said to me, I'm ashamed of you. And I lost all respect that I had for you. Like, I thought you were a good person. And I thought you would be one of my biggest cheerleaders and my biggest fans. And that would be like the person. I thought you would be someone that would say he doesn't deserve to go through this. I believe him, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you kind of like were like, you know, you had a roommate that had been fucked over by the police. But I don't know what you heard between then and now. And I don't know if you were watching these videos and think I'm some sort of like drug addict, crazy person. First of all, what if I was a crazy person believing this? And for you to say like I should be ashamed. So if I had gone schizophrenic and I had gotten like something fucked up with my brain, neurological or whatever, like, and I'm going through this, and so it's something that I am experiencing. Regardless, let's say it's not real, but it's still real in my head. Like, you think I should feel shame for that? Like, fuck you. Like, that's the most shameful thing. Like that's one of the most hurtful things anyone's ever said to me, because I thought you would be one of my biggest fans. I thought like you cared about me, and what you said to me was unforgivable, and it's unconscionable, and like you're a horrible person to have said that. You're not as horrible as these people, but what you did, and I was at a very low point. That wasn't that long ago. That was like a month ago, 2 months ago. For you to have said that at such a low point, like that could have been the tipping point for someone in the same situation, or even me in a parallel timeline, to go and end their life after what you said to them. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I am ashamed and I'm embarrassed by you. And the same kind of goes for my dad, for my sister, for Alan, for Tim, for Tom. Even though Tom acts nice, it's still like, you're still letting me go through this. And I know it's not your responsibility necessarily. All I wanted you to do was tell my dad the truth. And for Tom, like, for you to have said, oh, it's moot or whatever with what you said. Imagine, and I said this in text messages, you lied to my dad, whether or not you intended to lie to him or not. I don't think you intended to lie to him, but you told my dad a series of lies, of false statements, and you didn't correct them. And you lied to me, and you kept saying that you had corrected them. And I don't care what you say, you did not correct them. You did not correct them correctly. And when I finally kept pushing you on it and scheduled messages to ping you every fucking hour, to give him a fucking phone call, you finally sent a text to me, finally, and him, in a three-way text. And you said, oh, yeah, he wasn't, like, whatever, like, he didn't threaten my daughters. Like, you told my dad that I threatened your daughters to you. I did no such thing at all. There's nothing, even, you can look back at those texts, there's nothing that could be at all conceived. I wasn't even threatening those two sketchy girls that I was talking about. Like, why would I call your girls sketchy? We weren't even talking about your girls. I was talking about the two neighbor girls. I even said neighbors or something like that. They were a couple doors down. Like, I wasn't even threatening them to you. I wasn't even saying, like, I'm going to do something to them. You told my dad, you basically made my dad think that I was an emaciated, fucked up meth head that didn't have his shit together. And I wasn't emaciated. I was overweight. You said, oh, I fit into your stepson's gym shorts. No, I didn't. I even finally, when I got to the Grove after the incarceration, I finally tried on some gym shorts. And I'm like, what the fuck? These don't fit. And I'm like, oh, these are the shorts that, like, my dad mentioned that, like, I fit into his gym shorts. And Dad, fuck you for, like, I corrected you on it over and over again. And, like, you believe these, like, and then Tom corrects you. And you don't reprocess it. You're a programmer. You're not reprocessing the inputs to come out with a new output. That influenced you to not bail me out. And I also won't forgive you for not bailing me out the first time. You didn't hire me a lawyer. I had to pay a lawyer, wasting money on a lawyer that didn't do shit for me, except he did get me out of jail and he kept me from going to a mental institution. I would have gone to and then eventually I did go to a mental institution, so thanks a lot. And you think I deserved it. Fuck you for that. I will never forgive you for that. You said you were going to bail me out. I even agreed to go to rehab, even though I didn't need to go to rehab. I just wanted to get out of there. One that would hopefully take dogs. But even then I was like, fine, I'll go. And you said you would bail me out. And then you came to visit me after not bailing me out and telling me that you weren't going to bail me out when you were with Robin. That's why I didn't come to the visitation thing. And Robin said you cried. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you were hurt by that. You hurt me. You lied to me. You treated me like shit. And Robin, you called me a meth head. I'm not a fucking meth head. You're a pothead. And you were drunk for a period of your life. So what? You hear me calling you that, except for now? Like, and pot might lead to schizophrenia. Who knows? but probably not at your age. But like, the way you treated me and the last time you talked to me on the phone, I will never forgive you for that. For ignoring every single thing I said. Robin, they said the guy in 301 had my phone. And they also said he hacked my Google account. Like, I don't even know the guy. And he did. I found logs of his email address, put in as my recovery email address, and my phone was in his room on the little map, on the find your phone thing. And they did a little Simon Says thing with him too. But I kept mentioning that. Oh, we'll just gloss over it. And then Tom, for you to be like, oh, well, let's gloss over it. Yeah, I corrected the record. He never threatened my daughters, and we would never think that of him. But it's a moot point now. It's not a moot point. You told my dad something that led him to make decisions or to judge me in a certain way and to make decisions that negatively affected me and has irreparably damaged our relationship. It's his fault for not correcting himself on the record, even though I've corrected himself many times. But it's also your fault. And for you to say that I threatened your daughters and to gloss over that, like that's something you should call immediately and put on a conference call, get on speakerphone, and then put it on a speakerphone again with me or whatever. And like, and Dad, you should apologize to me for even though you were going on information that you thought was right, you should still apologize for the way you treated me for that. And you didn't when I bring it up repeatedly. Oh, I still think you were going to build a bomb or blow up. No, Dad, I was saying like they push people to that. I'm sorry I didn't add another text there to Robin while I was being attacked, who lied to me also. Oh, I didn't tell Dad to this. Yeah, you did. He told me you did. You fucking liar. You're a lying bitch. You're a sketchy bitch. You stole my car from me. I have no transportation. Well, you would have lost it in impound. Yeah, but you got it out from me. I was even going to split, like if we sell it, I said, let's split the money. It should more than cover for the tires, which Dad probably would have paid for. And what you're putting into it doesn't matter because you're benefiting from that car. So if you fix it up or whatever, that's your problem. You know? Now, for getting tires on it to sell it, that's one thing. But you've basically been driving around in my car, acting like it doesn't run. That's not true at all. And you've been lying to me. What a sketchy, horrible person you are. And you're my sister. And you do that to me? And then for Tom, for you to partially correct the record, but, oh, yeah. No, I bullet pointed it to you in emails and in text messages and in conversations and even with my dad. No, this is not true. No, this is not true. And Tom, you've done fucking coke before. I don't know if you still do, but you have like, oh my God, we should like, oh my God, who cares? It doesn't matter. But it matters that like I did meth occasionally, which had nothing to do with any of this shit, except for coming up positive, a couple of days later when I wasn't using, and then they made me freak out. I wasn't staying up for days at a time. I was sleeping and eating every single day. I wasn't using every single day. I was using I got to the point where I was using like once a week. It wasn't around me anymore. I didn't want to use it anymore, but then they pushed me to it. It's like it's the only thing that kept me from going crazy or from like wanting to kill myself sometimes. Like I don't want to be in those dark places. It works faster than Prozac, but like I'm not using. Like I go for months. I wasn't using. Still going through the shit. Oh, it's from a drug damaged brain. No, Dad, it's not. I will never forgive you for that. And Tom, it's not moot. Imagine, like I said, imagine if I had gone to Betsy, and this isn't a threat, don't take it that way. I know that you've taken things like the wrong way sometimes. This is a hypothetical to make you understand the situation that I'm in. Imagine if I had gone to Betsy a couple of years ago, and I said, Tom's cheating on you, or he threatened someone. But let's say like he's cheating on you, and whatever, and he punched me or whatever, or he threatened me, if I ever told. Imagine if I did that. And it wasn't true, obviously. And imagine if she divorced you or left you or put a strain in and then like for 2 years you didn't talk or whatever, and put a strain in your relationship. And that was the reason for that. Or that was a huge contributing factor to that. And even if you got back together or not got back together, let's say 2 years later, I was like, oh, Betsy, that didn't really happen. I'm sorry that it was a lie, it was a mistake, whatever. I thought he did or he didn't, It's moot now. Let's move on and like have a positive life. Do you think that's an appropriate response? I think you would be very angry from that if I had done something like that. You would be angry for the fact that I did to begin with. You'd be angry if I kept saying, "Oh yeah, I talked to her. I corrected the record." Well, and my dad's not telling me that the record's been corrected. He's not apologizing for not believing me. And then 2 years later, I'm like, oh, that thing that you, Tom, that you told me to, correct Betsy on over and over and over again, for that alone, like for something that you probably shouldn't talk, ever talk to me again about. Oh yeah, Betsy, here's the text. Yeah. Or yeah, we're all good. I don't even correct the record entirely. I'm like, oh yeah, it's just something I misinterpreted. But he's a good guy. Sorry. But you didn't even say sorry. And it's like, I just think the best of Tom. Let's just move on. It's a moot point. Let's just put it behind us. That's not an appropriate acknowledgement for the damage that you did. It's not an appropriate way that you did it, even though you spoke highly of me. And Dad, it's not an appropriate response for you to not do anything with it, and for you to totally ignore it, like you have with everything. Like I'm completely flabbergasted at the way that you've responded to certain things. I thought you were, you've been a nice person a lot of your life. I thought that like you'd be like, oh my God, I thought he did this and he didn't do it. Oh my God, I accused him of doing this. I believed him that he had done this and he didn't. No, you still say things like, I believe you did intend on hurting someone. No, Dad, I did not. And it hurts me so much that you think I'm the type of person that would do that. I've never thrown a punch on anyone in my entire life. I don't drama averse. I don't like hurting people. I don't. I like helping people. I like people feeling better. I'm a giver. Like, I don't hurt people. And for you to think that, and for Tom, for you to partially correct the record, I don't know why you did air quotes, and for you to be like, oh, let's move past it. Oh, let's catch up. No, Tom, I'm never going to talk to you ever again. Ever. I might have to send you a text whenever I get if I get my disability, if I ever get it, and I might have to get some account information to have my number transported or ported over to someplace else. I'm never talking to you again. Like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, I just don't want you in my life anymore. You've caused enough damage. And I know that I was going through this shit and like you got some collateral damage, but I think I don't think you have fibromyalgia. I think it was them. You threw your phone into the pool. I threw my phone into traffic. You were lying down on benches. I was lying down on benches too. Think. You saw me convulsing in bed after Thanksgiving in 2016. The day after Thanksgiving, actually, it was the next morning, like 1 a.m. or something. You said I was convulsing in bed, saying that I just wanted this to stop. I was convulsing. That's not a mental illness, retards. Like, and you never told my dad that. I didn't even know that you witnessed that. I don't recall you coming into the room and seeing that or witnessing that. And then you tell me that. Why didn't you ever tell my dad that? You didn't. That's very important. You saw me convulsing in bed. I wasn't on anything. You saw me getting shocked, literally. You were a witness. You are a witness to this. You saw that. And you didn't tell my dad that. Or my sister that. I put you on, as a witness, but the police aren't contacting anyone anyway because they're fucking retards. They fucking can't do their job, causing me more pain. But like, what the fuck? Wouldn't it have been helpful, Dad, to know, like, being shocked and know the like little zaps that people get? That's not what people experience when they're going off meth. They experience something that's kind of like a surge of like, or like a. That's for people that like say, and that's more of a sleep deprivation thing, I think. But like, and that's very rare too. Most people don't experience that at all. They don't. And the brain zap thing is like very rare. I mean, it's not entirely uncommon, but it's like that I've looked up when I've looked up on it. But all those people might have been doing other drugs. Again, I've met so many people, especially in jail, that were doing that. No one experiences brain zaps or zaps when they come off of it. I've never experienced anyone that has ever experienced that, and I've asked people about that. They just don't. They're fine. Maybe they sleep because they've been sleep deprived usually, but even if they've been getting sleep, it's like they're just not using it anymore. There's like no withdrawals to it, buddy. Put a fucking catheter in me and shame me. I'm ashamed of all of you. I'm so angry and hurt and sad, and like I'm sad that you're not going to be in my life anymore the way that like I would have liked you to, but you chose to react the way that you did. I know it didn't help during certain instances with this, bullshit going on, but you don't treat someone like that. And again, Tom, you witnessed me convulsing in bed, getting zapped. You saw me getting zapped. You didn't tell my dad that. That's not like what I suddenly got epilepsy and fibromyalgia and schizophrenia and paranoia and and neuropathy and fibromyalgia and migraines and vertigo and nausea and fever, like that just come and go, and intermittent, all intermittent and intermittent tinnitus, which is not a thing. People don't have intermittent tinnitus or sporadic tinnitus where it comes and goes. You think I have all that, plus I have the power of ESP, Robin. You think I could glean that guy's email address and like I couldn't even have suspected the guy. It's not like he was hanging out with me and then like, oh, that guy took my phone. No, total stranger. Saw him on the stairwell one time. All he said to me was he was talking about, like, he mentioned how like there's no tax after 30 days. I could not have known that. Like, what is wrong with you people? I'm so disappointed in all of you. I'll never talk to any of you ever again. And that hurts me, but like, I'll never be able to go through life and like see you and look at you and think anything other than like, you did that to me. You treated me like that. And it's their fault primarily, but it's also your fault because you don't treat someone like that and you ignored things. And for Dad and Tom, for you to put my dad in that place, and for Dad, for you to not reprocess information when I correct you on it, that document is 99% correct. It is. I don't have a faulty memory. The totality of the events, like, fuck you. Oh, so someone was loud a couple of nights, like over a couple month period. You think that warrants, when they're quiet, having the police come and then leave because they did the right thing? You think that warrants having the police come again or taking a hammer to the door, unlocking it, which is illegal and violent. It is violent. And to rip them out of bed and to put them in the hospital for no reason, and to not even interview them, and to not question Alan about the fucking hammer to the door. Fuck you. I'll never forgive you guys for that.